Hey, this is RJ May, and you're watching Mr. Mario 2011.
Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and I'm coming to you all very confused right now. I just want to say this is not a GameStop hate video or anything like that. I will say, personally, I don't like GameStop. I have a lot of things against their corporate policy, against the way they run their stores, but I can honestly count on one hand the amount of people and employees that I've actually had issues with. Most of the time I understand employees are doing their job, you know, they're doing their own thing, it's all good. They can't control what corporate is doing. But I'm coming to you all confused about this because I just came from GameStop tonight, and it probably won't be tonight by the time, you know, I upload this video and everything. But hear me out, okay? So, this is what ended up happening. Now, some people who might have seen, you know, my setup videos a long time ago, I still have these things, but I have some little mini console tins that are on my desk. Now, these are just consoles, like I'll probably put up a picture right here of them, but these are just little mini consoles that are like the PS3, 360, I'm looking at them right now, PSP, Wii, DS Lite, and there was one that I was missing, which I didn't really try to get before, but you know, I saw it tonight because I went into GameStop, I was picking up some stuff, and I saw this. They had a PS2 Slim little tin can as well. Now, these little tin cans were essentially just, you know, they were supposed to look like consoles, and they really do legitimately look like consoles. They're awesome to have and all that. Nice decorations as a gamer, nice collector's items, I guess you can say. But the thing with them is that they were made for gift cards. So you open them up, you can pop a gift card in there. That's all there is to it. Now, here's the thing when it comes to what happened tonight. I went in there, I got some games, I go up to the front counter, and then I ended up seeing, because the guy was on the phone, I looked around and I saw a few of them left on the shelf. I saw a PS2 one. It was 99 cents. So I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and get this. So he takes it, he scans my games and everything, and he tells me, he's like, okay, well, the games are going to be this much. Oh, and by the way, that thing was pennied out, so I'll just give it to you. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, it was pennied out. Normally, if things are pennied out, that means we were supposed to take them out of inventory. I'm actually surprised we still had that, but it's all good. I didn't even charge you for it. So I ended up paying for them. And then I asked him, you know, if these are pennied out, you have a few others there. Would you mind if I got them, or if, you know, I could even pay for, like, the penny that they are? Because when he says pennied out, I'm assuming they're selling them for 1 penny. And he was just like, no, sorry, we can't do that. Wait, do we have more? And I said, yeah, you have a few others. So he came around the counter, and there were like 3 DS tins and 1 PS2 tin. So he takes them, and I was just like, hey, I mean, I'm just wanting to know, would it be possible to buy? Because even if they're like deeply discounted or whatever, I'm still willing to pay for them. He's like, no, sorry, man. These things weren't even supposed to be out here. These are really old. I'm surprised we have so many still out here, but these weren't supposed to be out here in the first place. I'll tell you what. You have the PS2 one. I'll give you the DS one as well. But I'm sorry, we can't sell the others. And I was like, really? Like, what are you going to be doing with them? And he said, well, these things, they got to be destroyed. I mean, we can't sell them, and we're not supposed to have them out here, so they're just going to be destroyed. Let me see if I have any more in the back. So he takes them to the back. He's there for about a minute. He comes back. He's like, sorry, man, the only ones I just have 2 other DSs, and they're already in my destroy pile, so I have to destroy them. And I was just like, hey, I mean, I'm just saying, you were giving them out. You said they were pennied out, right? And he said, yeah. And I said, even if they're a penny or if they're deeply discounted, I'd be willing to pay for them. Is there any way you can sell them at all? Because, I mean, I don't want to be the person who's asking for free stuff by any means. I mean, that PS2 one I bought with the intention of buying, you know, and he just gave it to me. But I said, hey, if you're going to destroy them, and I even brought some humor to it, I was like, if you're going to destroy them, I wouldn't mind paying you all so I can destroy them back at my house or something. And he laughed and he said, no, I'm really sorry, you know, I gave you the PS2 one, I gave you the DS one, but those other ones we got to destroy. And I was like, hey, you know, it's all good. You all have a good night. Now, here's what got me thinking about this. Now, a while ago, there was a video, some of you might or might not be familiar with it, and it is called GameStop is Cheap and Greedy, where it's a guy who's dumpster diving behind GameStop, and he is so livid because there are consoles, there are discs, there are accessories that have been purposefully destroyed. The discs have mega gouges or scratches in them or are even cut. All the accessories have been destroyed, so they have, you know, all the wires have been cut, all that stuff. And he's going on and saying, you know, GameStop is cheap and greedy, and they took all of these working things and they cut and destroyed all of them just so they can throw them away. And there were other people that were coming in. Other people went in and they analyzed it and they said, you know, these things were A lot of them were worthless games, but there were also some valuable games. The valuable games, maybe they didn't even work in the first place, but they looked fine. And that does happen as well. I've come into it many times where I've had discs that look perfect, but they don't play correctly or anything like that. So they are defective. So they could destroy the defective discs. If they throw them away as is, people like this guy could go to the back of GameStop, take all that stuff that they threw away that looks just fine, sell it to GameStop the next day, and they wouldn't know. They would have no idea. So that way it deters a lot of those resellers and, you know, garbage bin hunters and all that other stuff. That I can understand, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, be oblivious to it at the same time. I know for a fact GameStop does throw out quite a lot of things that work, and I didn't even know that they actually destroyed their stuff, but that would make sense due to the fact that GameStop dumpster diving has become more popular in the past few years. Now, when it comes to this, I was just kind of sitting in the store questioning it and, you know, scratching my head, because this is literally, as I explained it, these were literally things that they were on the selling room floor, right? They weren't supposed to be out there. They were supposed to be destroyed. Okay, fair enough. Now, this guy, he already gave me one of them for free already. He actually gave me another one. So I got 2 of these little consoles for free because he said they were going to destroy them. But I offered to buy the other ones because, I mean, they had price stickers on them. They were for sale and everything. He couldn't sell them to me. I was a customer there. I was willing to pay for them, even though they were deeply discounted. He couldn't sell them to me for whatever reason, because they were supposed to be off the store floor, and he was supposed to destroy them. But he gave 2 of them to me, which I said thank you for, and I was very thankful for and everything. So my whole questioning behind this is why? Why is it like that? Because I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm even kind of, you know, thinking about how it's been with my other jobs. I'll kind of run through my jobs a bit, you know, from least recent to most recent. My first job, I worked at a video game store, and we had several games and accessories and all that we had, and they were broken and all that, so we normally put them in the back. We had discs with imperfections with them that were in the back there and everything, and we also had to throw away a lot of things as well, but normally we would destroy them if they were already defective and all that. But if there was anything like that, like if there was something that we could, you know, give out to an employee for free or anything like that, something that we could not sell, we did it. That was fine. Now, we never got anything, you know, super huge, not like an Xbox 360 or a PS3. This is years ago, so that's when they were more valuable. We never got anything like that, but I'm talking about like a game, for example, that was kind of cracked a little bit, might have had a little bit of a gouge in it, but it still worked just fine. As employees, I mean, we could just okay it with the boss, and if we could take it home, we could take it home. Now, granted, that was also on a mom and pop level at the same time, so this is more of a corporate thing, and I understand that. But then, going into the corporate world as well, too, I've worked several university jobs, and normally, if we're throwing things out, that's also things that are free to take a majority of the time, as long as it doesn't have a serial number on it. If something has a serial number on it and it's taken out of inventory, normally you'd have to ask, and you can either pay for it, and when you pay for it, you have to sign a form saying you've paid this much at this time on this day, and you guarantee to not resell it for a profit or anything like that. And if it's something, let's say it's like a really long Ethernet cable that we're throwing out, you can just take that because it doesn't have a serial number on there. With my past internship, actually, in summer of 2014, there were a lot of Ethernet cables that I was able to take home because we were clearing out a bunch of junk, and we had a lot of cables, a lot of old devices that we were just throwing away. And I talked with, you know, managers and all that, and for example, there were a ton of really good Ethernet cables. And I asked, hey, if we're throwing these away, would you mind if I threw them away at home? And they said, go ahead, just take them. If you don't take them, they're going to get thrown away. So now we're coming back to GameStop here. I mean, they said that they were going to throw these away, not just throw them away, they said that they were going to destroy them. Now, granted, it was their own fault for putting stock out on the floor that should not have been sold, and this happens sometimes. You see it occasionally with some stores like Walmart and all that, these other stores that will put out a game like 3-4 days early, and normally, if you scan that game at a register, a warning comes up for the cashier that says you cannot sell this thing until this date. So that way, that gets protected right there. But this is literally a situation where it was out there, they said that they were going to destroy it, they had no issue giving me a few of them, but even when I offered to pay for the rest, they couldn't do it for some reason. Again, I'm not saying this in anger, I'm making this in more confusion, because I'm just confused with the situation, why it would be like that, why it's set up like that, what the issue was. So that's why I'm asking you all. And if there's anybody who has worked or is working at GameStop, why is it like this? What's up with that? That's what I want to know, because I'm racking my brain and I don't see the logic behind it. I really don't. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone. Let me know what you all think of